2.3 talks about getting information from the graph of a function. I was really going to do 2.6 right now, which is transformation, but this is a short section so that we have extra time to work with that. A function is given. A, sketch a graph. Well, how do you graph this function? This is a line. You could pick 3 points where that equals 0, a point above it, a point below it, but that's a line. So in this line, you start at -1. That's a lot faster. The slope is 2 over 1. Rise 2, run 1. Connect those with a smooth curve. In this case, a straight line, because linear equations are the only functions or the only graphs, relations that are represented by a graph of a straight line. And it says identify domain and range. I really don't need the graph for domain. Domain, remember, if I don't see an even index radical, a log or a fraction is all real numbers. The range, in this case, you have to look at the graph. That's why we're going to be graphing all real numbers. If I look at this line, I notice it's limited. If x equals 0, put a 0 in there, y equal 2. And if x equal 2, y equal 2 minus 6 is a -4. Since it's linear, I know it's a straight line. 0, 2, not included, and 2, -4. A straight line connecting those. And there it is. Now domain is allowable x values. It's right there. It's 0 to 2. Range, you look at the graph, you're looking at the y's. From small to large, -4 all the way to 2. So the y is going to run from -4 all the way up to y equal 2, not included. Here we know this is a parabola. Again, we're going to learn how to graph that. If you put a -2 in there, -2, 2 minus, so a -2 squared is 4. 2 minus 4 is -2. And if this equals 0, I get a 2. And if I put a 2 in there, I'll get a -2. So -2, -2 included, 0, 2, and 2, -2. Connect those with a smooth curve. There's my graph. Domain, again, domain is the allowable x values. It's -2 to 2. How about the range? The range is asking how high or low does this graph run. That's the allowable y values. Well, the lowest y value would be a 2, -2, and the highest would be a 2. It's just a coincidence that those two match. Now, given the following graph, something we gotta start reading. I would take part A. So this is the graph of f of x. Part A. Find f of -5. They're asking for y. Find f of -3. Find f of 0. Find f of 1 and find f of 5. So, f of x, if x equal a -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If x equal -5, what's the y? The y is 2. That's what this is asking for. This is saying if x equal -3, what does y equal? Well, a 1. If x equals 0, what does y equal? If x equal 1, and if x equal 5, that's part A. Part B. It says find the domain and range. Domain, allowable x values, basically left to right. Well, as far as left, we start from -5, running all the way to x equal 5, and this is included. The 1 is included right there. So we could say from -5 to 5. That's simple. The range is allowable y values going up and down. What's the lowest y value we could have? Well, that's a -1 included. And the highest, 1, 2, that's a 3, but do you see that that's not included? C. Find the values of x when, remember, f of x is y equal 1. If I take y equal 1, and I put a line at y equal 1. There it is. That's the line y equal 1. Basically, I'm asking what are the x values. X would be negative 3. X would be 1. And x would be 5. So in case somebody has a hard time seeing these colors, negative 3, a 1, and a 5. Now, D. It's asking, find all the values for which f of x is less than 0. Less than 0 means negative. Find all the values for which f of x, the y, is less than 0. Right there. What would that be? Less than 0. If I'm measuring y, my answer is always in terms of x. And since it's not included, that would be from negative 2 all the way to, what does that look like? I'm going to say that's about 0.8. Not sure what that is. And the last part is asking, find the net change of y. Find the net change in y between x equal negative 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. This y and x equal 3, 1, 2, 3. And this y. So basically, figure out the difference between those. Well, if this y equal 1 and this y equal 2, isn't the net change would be 2 minus 1, which is 1 unit. And that's all there is for this section. A very short section, but important.